Thomas and Friends Wood Adventures, Episode 6. Percy, Thomas, and the Express. James and Henry were leaving with the Express. It had been a long day, and Goran was nearly done at the works. Goran was getting bored at the works. He had been trying to get mended for a few days, and they had to clean out the grime between his wheels. Although James and Henry did duties of the Express, there was also a new diesel which had the number 4 on it to help with the shunting. His name was Honky, because he made a honking sound like this. It's a bit sounds like Frankie, but Thomas didn't know that Percy was still there. Thomas stopped and Percy pulled out. "Boo," said Percy. "Oh, you scared me, Percy," said Thomas. "That's what sometimes best friends do. You know how I scared Henry on my first day." Speaking of first day. This is the first day and our new diesel Honky is here. "Who's Honky?" said Percy. "He's the number 4 diesel." "Then he would be diesel 4, said Percy, and they both chuckled. Meanwhile, Henry and James were still pulling the Express. Henry was going up Goran's hill when he noticed something. Emily was pulling a goods train. She coupled up to it, and she did set off. The train went smoothly, but there was one problem. Emily, Thomas, and Percy. There was one problem. There was only one problem. Henry and James were going down Goran's hill, but they didn't know that Emily just backed up for her train. She was going to pull the mail. "It's so nice to have another mail engine around," said Percy. Just then, Henry and James rattled down Goran's hill. "Look out," said the 2 engines, as they both crashed. Henry fell into the sea, while James crashed on top of the warehouse. His tender was fine, but the coaches weren't. "Well, this is a serious mess for Harvey to clean up," said Thomas. "How many times is Henry gonna fall into the water? This is like the 4th time in his life." Henry was cross. "Cut it out, you," said Henry. Meanwhile, at the works, Goran was still waiting when he noticed something very strange. Henry was being backed up from Big 379. Henry, what happened to you? You look like you're a seaweed engine, but without the crabs. I'm good, said Henry, but my paint's a little scratchy. Just then, Big 379 brought James's tender in. Guys, then Big 379 brought James's tender in. It was scratched up. It was scratched up. Then Emily backed up. Hector's back wheel was still derailed. No, wait, said Percy. But Emily, everything was fine, but Emily was off the rails. Looks like it's us to pull the express. So that was that. Thomas pulled the coaches while Percy pulled the express, and they both ran to time and right on time. Good work, said the passengers, and Thomas and Percy